After-school clubs are a mainstay across American schools, ranging from sports, the Scouts, even clubs deemed religious in nature. One controversial club has hit headlines across the nation. Parents in states like Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Illinois demanding schools ban the Satan Club. But the club's organizers say the Christian community has it all wrong and took its fight to court. Organizers with the Satanic Temple, a non-religious organization, say its Satan Club gives parents an alternative option for their child's after-school care. The group says it focuses on schools offering Christian-based programming, specifically schools that host the evangelical Good News Club. The Satanic Temple does not actually worship the devil, but uses its imagery more like a mascot, promoting calls of activism. Curriculum does not include teaching about the devil or satanic rituals, instead focuses on science, critical thinking, and creative arts. But parents of faith insist these clubs be canceled, fearing their children will be indoctrinated into worshiping Satan.
What happens to one school district makes a difference.
We take Bibles and prayer out, Satan automatically comes in, and now we're inviting him in. That's obviously, I'm going to take a stand against that.
The school district voting in favor of concerned parents, rescinding its agreement to let the group meet on school grounds. The ACLU getting involved, suing a Pennsylvania school district in March for First Amendment violations, arguing the need for equal access regardless of their religious beliefs. A federal judge agreed, ruling the district must allow the after-school Satan Club to meet in its facilities. All right, so what does this week's victory mean? Let's bring in Sarah Rose, a lawyer with the ACLU representing the After-School Satan Club, joining us live now. Sarah, thank you so much for your time. Explain to us, how did this end up in court? Because initially, the school district had approved the Satanic Temple's application to use the district's facilities.
Yeah, that's right. Originally, the school district did tell the club that they could meet in the school facilities after school, just like other clubs are allowed to meet, such as the Good News Club, which is a Christian club, and the Boy Scouts, and similar types of activities. But after the school district sent a message to the school community explaining their decision, there's a lot of backlash from the community, a lot of opposition, a lot of people who are upset about the school district's decision. Even though the school district acknowledged that their decision was required by the Constitution and the First Amendment. And, unfortunately, there was also a threat of violence made against the school by somebody upset by the school's decision. And as a result of that, the school district canceled the club and said they couldn't use school facilities after school.
All right, so Sarah, I want to talk a little bit more about the backlash in a moment, but first, I just want to ask about the club. I mean, are kids clamoring to be a part of this club, or is it not even about that? Is it about proving a point, or is it maybe a mix and a bit of both?
So, I mean, the Satanic Temple will only do the after-school Satan Club in schools where there's been a community member who asked them to come in, and in this case, there was a parent who, asked if they could establish one of their clubs at this school. So there is definitely interest among parents and students in the club. And, they wouldn't have come into this school district if there wasn't already interest.
All right, so Sarah, the first meeting is set for next week. Do you think there will continue to be this backlash? I mean, that may be an obvious question there, because, I mean, we heard from parents in that piece before this. There are legitimate fears from parents who do believe children are being indoctrinated or will be indoctrinated in some form.
So, I mean, first of all, no student is allowed to attend this club unless they have permission from their parent. So, no parents have to worry that their kids are going to, accidentally stumble into this club, because they do have to have permission. In addition, these clubs take place after school, so after dismissal time for students. It's only those kids who want to attend and whose parents want them to attend who are going to be there. We certainly hope that everything's going to go very smoothly with the club, and that there's not going to be any kind of disturbance of the club's meetings.
And so, let's listen to what some parents have to say about the club. There's a bite I want to hear.
They promote things that are diametrically opposed to the values that America stands for. And at any level, Satan has no rights in America.
Okay, so Sarah, we just heard that parents say Satan has no rights in America, but does this case actually prove the opposite? Does even Satan have rights here in America?
Well, so certainly one of the important values that we have in our country is religious freedom. Now, while the Satanic Temple does not actually believe that Satan exists, and they construe Satan as a literary figure, certainly if another group that does believe Satan exists and it has the same religious freedom rights as anyone else in this country, and that's what makes this country great.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.